Okay.
We have to keep hitting the
Joanne, you got to remind about that yes
We
button.
can get on
okay?
together. Why not?
Yeah. Well, we'll do it
Start
different.
record. There we go. We're
We can
good.
get on together.
All right. Okay. Are we ready? Let's hit. Let's start it out with Charlie. Oh, remake. Get rid of that.
When the sun is down and burns the car.
Who's that? Who's singing that song? That's it. Leave it on. That's Charlie.
Okay, we are live. We are live.
Hey.
A little closer, baby. We'll be having some fun. Like it? That was a mosquito, huh? Thank you, man. I get the other one.
I got this shit.
Yeah, if you shut the flash off, you get it that way, Joanne. Make sure you get Chris in it, too.
How do we do this when we all get in? Hey, Denise, take the mirror. Take the mirror.
Yeah.
Not the flash, though.
Not the flash. No flash.
Yeah, where to go? Yeah, let's play the start.
All right, here we go.
All right, I'm Jimmy J. We are broadcasting live from the Grand Princess. We are somewhere between Aruba and Fort Lauderdale. We don't know exactly, but we do know one thing. All the folks that are out here, we have Rock and Roll Hall of Famer and my friend Charlie Thomas seated right next to me.
Hey, Charlie. I got my dogs in the back there, Steve and Jerome and Lou. They're back there.
Your dogs?
My dogs.
Do they bark?
They howl, bark, everything.
Okay, you ready? Who let the dogs out?
Yeah.
Buddy, on behalf of Concerts at Sea, the Rewind Show, Chris's KYA, and everyone in the world, we thank you for your love, your support, and what you have done for rock and roll.
Yeah, thank you, Jimmy J. Thank you so much. I mean, I appreciate all that, you know, and I really do. I mean, I love rock and roll myself, you know. And all you rappers out there, turn your hat around, pull your britches up, and learn some rock and roll.
Charlie, you've been doing this a long, long time, and for the folks that are watching us on TV around the world, we need it quiet just a little, okay, because this is live.
Hey.
Cool it down.
Hey, you mind shutting up while I'm talking?
Anyway, Charlie, tell us about how it all started for you, for the folks that don't know your story.
Yeah, well, it's a long story. I mean, they don't
Well,
have
make it
time.
short. Make it short.
They-
Okay, that's good.
They
Next
showed
up.
They showed me the dollar bill, and I said, "Here I am."
That was it. The dollar did it.
Yeah, no, I mean the friends did it. I had so many friends through the years: Sam Cooke, Jackie Wilson, Harvey Fuqua, the Moonglows, Willie Winfield, the Harptone, Benny King. We just rock. We used to sing on the street corners in New York City by the fire when they have a pint of wine, you know, getting blasted. And the big stars like Sammy Davis, Jeff Chandler, and all of them used to come from LaGuardia Airport and stop by the pole and see who was the best singers. We had the Clovers on one corner, we had the Drifters on one corner, we had the Five Crowns on one corner, and they used to throw out bucks, a dollar bill, big old silver dollars back in the days, you know. So, and then we got into the Apollo Theater and on the amateur show, you know. Sammy Davis helped me to meet the Drifters back in the days, but I was with the Five Crowns already. And it's a long story. Like I told Jimmy J, to take up the whole program because we got other guys who want to say some hello to y'all.
But I want you mentioned Sammy Davis. I know some of the folks may may have heard this story, but for the folks that are watching and listening to us on like over 400 stations around the world, please do an abbreviated version of what happened to you when you were a little boy at the Apollo and you were shooting dice in the back of the Apollo, going to school right behind it. Let the people hear that story.
Not dice, Jimmy J. Crap.
Crap. Okay. Well, what I think is so important is that how people's lives touch people throughout the, and that little instance brought you to, it helped bring you to where you are, made you see what the dollar's all about and how if you work hard you can get some. So share it
I went backstage there, and my mother told me not to go backstage, but like a gambler, my mother was a gambler. She used to play like Tonk and Pitty Pat and, poker, on Fridays and Saturdays. But I went backstage and I picked up the habit of shooting dice, and I was shooting dice with good friends of mine by the Apollo's 3 day back on the wall. And this man stuck his head out the back door and said, "Hey, you little black boy," said, "Come here." I said, "Who you calling black?" He said, "You, bring your over here," And I looked up, and it was Sammy Davis Jr., and he wanted me to take his clothes to the cleaners and get his shoes shine and everything, and I did that. I worked with him for the week that he was in Apollo, and he gave me $500.
Imagine that, $500.
In them days of age, $500 was like $1 million.
Of course it was.
Really, you could get a room for $550.
Right. Right.
But I was a young boy, and I got me a pair of dungarees and sneakers, and them kid sneakers, with the big old wheel on the side.
Now, when you brought the money back home to your mom, did she believe that you? No, or did she think you stole some hubcaps?
She thought I had snatched and stole some hubcaps. She said, "You've been stealing." I said, "No, Mom." I said, "I was working for Sammy Davis Jr. for the day." She said, "Stop lying to me." And she grabbed the belt, and I said, "Uh-oh."
Not the belt.
But when she grabbed it back, I pulled out my picture of Sammy Davis Jr. He signed it for me, and she said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Yeah." I said, "He invited me to bring you to see his last show." So I did, and she was sitting in, and we sat there in the front row and saw him, and it was a pleasure.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Tell the folks who presented you.
Elton John. He gave me my award. Elton John gave me my award.
What did he say to you?
What did I say to him?
What did he say to you?
Oh, he said it was a pleasure giving it to him.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was a gentleman. Believe me, he was a gentleman. And I went in with the Beach Boys and Yoko Ono, and that was it. Had a good time. Bill Pinkney, the original Drifters, and Benny King, and Johnny Moore, and me. Really, it was a pleasure.
I think we can announce this now. Publicly, we started to do it a little bit at some of the shows we've been doing, but a real major announcement is going to happen on February 1st of thereabout with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because they're finally inducting, I don't know how many people know this or not, but finally the Comets are going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Finally.
Yeah,
what happened? Bill Haley was inducted, but the Comets were not, and people have been arguing and fighting, and it's going to be released. And I had an inside scoop on that. Also going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, without the folks knowing, but they are now. The Crickets are finally going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but if they can see a way, please put Johnny Maestro in the Rock and Roll.
Well, okay. Let me say this about that. I'm going to get controversial now. Okay. It can't be just Johnny Maestro, because you know what? The Crest were a huge part of that. So let's induct the Crest, the whole package as a whole. Because if you don't, it's not fair to the Crest. It's like you with the Drifters, okay? You would not be who you were without the guys that back you and support you, and it's so important. And Jack Colombo over there, you know what I mean? And so, to me, the whole group are nothing. Okay, and then you got to decide who's more popular. Whether it be we go with the Crest or do we go with the Brooklyn Bridge. And I personally, no offense to the Crest, the Brooklyn Bridge, because they know I love them, but I personally believe it should be the Crest, because Johnny Maestro was one of the first people to bring blacks into his group, to integrate the sound, to really do something. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's really important. And then one other group going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that the public does not know about is the Fabulous Flames, James Brown's Flames. How much music do they make? They deserve to be there. That's all going to be happening, and if it hasn't been announced in America yet, it will be soon, and we've just blasted it all over the world anyway.
Yeah.